recapping it, one of the things you mentioned came up during the discussion was how do you deal with the 800-pound gorillas in the room, the OpenAIs, the large tech companies who have a lot of resources to invest and spread their bets across a number of applications, not the least of which are consumer bets. And the point that you made in a lot of these was that there are verticals, or there appear to be verticals, where those large companies won't actually dominate. And what I want to ask you is, what are the verticals where you think there is room and where they won't actually capture all the market in consumer?
Okay, so it's a two-part question here, and I think on the first point about just like how do you navigate being new or being the underdog sort of to come to market when there's these big platform players. I think that if you look back on history, there is a sea of failed products that have been launched by big tech companies. Big tech companies thinking they have the audience, thinking they have the resources, and as natural, you're playing around the edges because something sounds exciting. But the execution, the kind of precision at which you understand that particular slice of the market, that particular need, they have failed many times, and new companies have come to rise in that context. And so I think that people should keep that in mind, that it's a possibility. And maybe a best case scenario is you have a big company that's starting to introduce ideas, that's starting to prime the market for you. But if you come at it with precision, with expertise, with imagination, there is a possibility, and it's been proven in history, and I think it will play out again this time, where new can emerge.
And is there an example of an area here where you feel like the idea might have been introduced, but the execution isn't going as well as it could be, and maybe that poses an opportunity?
Well, I think so. If you look at ChatGPT, put the report out last week about the ways in which people are using ChatGPT, it was fascinating. To me, that's a roadmap of opportunity. Yes, that's partly their opportunity, but it's everybody else's opportunity for the same framework I'm saying now. Is their version of that the best it can possibly be? At the risk of, I think Perplexity's playing with shopping. Have you changed your shopping habits to go there yet? No, it's hard. What does it take to do it? I mean, I'm rooting for all these players to do it because I think it's part of what brings the industry along. But I think while you're trying to be good at so many things, it's very hard to nail a particular verticalized experience.
Right.
And so actually, Akash, without hopefully not sounding like a Pollyanna, I think everything on that chart is kind of fair game. Now, OpenAI, for instance, has come and said they're really interested in science, they're really interested in health. No surprise. Those are huge, big categories.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a one size fits all? Are there how many big markets and experiences are there to be had inside of that one category? I would argue a lot. And I think in most cases, you look at companies that are big, huge scale companies now, and very often, if not always, they started with a wedge into the market. So it's kind of one of the things we're looking for right now, which is where's that founder that has the ambition, has sort of the early signals that say, I can imagine this person being the leader of a big company and kind of continuing to push further, but has a focused precision about how to meet the market right now and use that as an opportunity to build credibility and business foundation.
Right. Oh, you talked about health, and health is certainly an area that we're trying to talk more about on the show. Your firm is investors in Aura, and I know one of your partners has a board seat on the company, and it's been an exciting week of news